Coby White. That hair just flowing as he runs.
What a star Coby White has become.
I wake up in the morning, it's another day, another opportunity, I know it's up to me.
Coby White just saving a bucket. What a great block.
Screaming my name, asking for pictures.
Oh my, what a play.
Coby White.
When I see my name in lights.
Doing it again. How do you stop it?
If I give it my all, I'ma reap the rewards. I know I'll be a star. I wanna see my name in lights.
Man, can recognize that hairdo even from Chicago. He's become a big-time star in the NBA. He joins us now on the program. Coby, first of all, great seeing you again. Welcome to the show. Listen, we're down here at the Basketball Museum. You've been part of tradition in history, which is Carolina. When I say Carolina-Duke, what's the first thing that pops in your head?
Obviously the best rivalry of all time. So I think it's the best rivalry of sports, regardless of level. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
I want to know from you, because you're a North Carolina kid, obviously you came here, but growing up, what was your view on this rivalry and where your allegiance stood as a kid?
Honestly, as a kid, it stood with my dad. My dad was a Duke fan, so growing up, I kind of was on the Duke side. But like I said, as I got older, and colleges started recruiting me, UNC was one of the first colleges to recruit me. So obviously that flipped.
Yeah, I think you're just on one side now. That's for sure. And then if you think back on it, I know the 1 year that you had, what's your greatest memory? If you think of this, and I know Pac said, what do you think about the rivalry? But personally for you, playing in it, what's your greatest moment from it all?
I think for me, my greatest moment was that game at home. I think that just whole entire game, the environment, the intensity of the game, and I think obviously what helped was I played well that game. But I feel like that was one of the funnest moments that I had when I was in school. So definitely that game at home. It came down to the wire, and we was able to pull it out at the end.
Coby, I got asked this question recently, and I had a hard time answering it. Would you rather win at Carolina, or would you rather go over to Duke and get a win? Which one is better? I know it's hard, but which one is better?
Yeah, I mean, I got to experience both when I was there. So I'm gonna say the better is winning there for me. Winning there at Duke, just because how crazy the fans get and being able to go on their floor and beat them with all the hype surrounding the game. And then, honestly, I feel like especially when I was in school, a lot of the stars, a lot of the stars came out. I think Obama came to our game, which was crazy. So we was able to get the win in front of Obama when we played at Cameron Indoor. Yeah.
That is special. That's cool.
Coby, the one thing I've always admired from afar, Joel can speak from personal preference because he's part of it, but you always hear about the Duke brotherhood, the Carolina family, and it's all real. When this game takes place tomorrow night, again, I know there'll be some of you guys in the NBA playing, but what is the group text chat like when Carolina and Duke are playing as far as who's on that chat and what's normally the tenor based on the fact if Carolina's up or Carolina's down? You tell me.
I don't really be participating in the chats. I just support, obviously it's a big game. So, and I have a game, but obviously, right after the game, I usually, especially times like this, I check, see who won and who didn't. But obviously around the guys in my locker room, they all talking, it's a big rivalry game. So, definitely think, my boys gonna come up and show out and do their thing. So.
I know, Coby, you're busy having a career year in the NBA right now, but how much are you able to watch this UNC team? And what do you think of the product that's been on the floor? Obviously, a top 5 team in the country for a reason.
I've watched a couple games. I got a chance to watch a couple games on TV. So, but the turnaround that they had from last year to this year has been crazy. It's been the same. Coach Davis has done a spectacular job, and a lot of players have really stepped up. RJ's having a hell of a year. He's locked in. I think, me personally, he's the best point guard in the country, and I think he's proven that. So, for me, a lot of, and then we got a good group of transfers that came in. Harrison Ingram, Ryan Cormack, those guys, and like I said, Seth Trimble stepped up. They just came with a different attitude this year, a different level of attention and attention to detail. So I mean, this led to a lot of wins. So they've been really good this year. It's been fun to watch.
You were a young pup starting in this game, obviously having to be the lead for the group. There's a guy named Elliot Cadeau who's doing the same for this team right now, and he's been outstanding all season. If you were to provide him one piece of advice going into this matchup, what would it be?
I think one thing that I went through that I think that he should stick by is just be yourself. Don't try to be anyone. Don't try to be different. Treat it like any other game. Come in and be who you are, because who he's been has been, one of the best players in the nation since high school. So for him, just come in and do his thing, do what he's supposed to do, lead the team, facilitate, play make, and lead them to a win.
Now, Coby, you gave us the rundown on what Elliott should do here in this game, but what is your prediction for this game? Ideally, I know you're going to go Carolina because you're obligated to do that.
Yeah.
But what is your prediction, and how do you see this game being played out?
I think it's going to be a hell of a game. Definitely a hell of a game because Duke got a bunch of good players. They got Roach, Proctor. McCain is really coming into his own these last couple weeks. But it's gonna be a high level game. Guard play for me. I'm looking forward to the guard play of the game. Just because both teams has like Cadeau, RJ, but then Duke has Proctor, Roach, Caleb Foster. So it's gonna be a high octane game, and it's gonna live up to the hype for sure. But obviously, I got UNC. My Tar Heels winning.
Coby, I know, again, you got an NBA slate to worry about. You can't watch every single game, but the last time I watched North Carolina, they went down to Georgia Tech and got beaten. The kid who made the winning shot, man, he looked like you. He looked like Coby White reincarnated with Nate George. He's got the hair thing going on. I mean, you become a stylist not only within the NBA, but it's already had a trickle-down effect here to the ACC.
Yeah, that was a tough loss, but it was a tough shot that he hit at the end of the game. I think that people being grown out their hair, I wouldn't say I really started that, but it's dope to see kids be themselves on the court.
What about R.J. Davis? He's having an ACC Player of the Year campaign. A guy that was not even selected first team or second team preseason All ACC. He has been spectacular. You talked about all the great guard play. I know that you have an admiration watching him from afar, but man, what a year he's had.
Yeah, man, he's really stepped up his game to a different level. I know me and him talked before the season, and I could just sense his motivation. You could see the fire, in his eyes, and that he wanted to be really good, and he wanted to take his game to a different level. And this year, like I said, not only ACC Player of the Year, but I think he's in conversations for National Player of the Year. What he's been doing this season. So, the work always gonna show, and he's a super hard worker. He loves the gym. He loves the game of basketball, and off the court, he's such a great kid. Always a joy to be around. So every time I go back, I look forward to seeing him. So for me, I'm just happy and super excited. He's getting to show what he's really about on this stage.
Hey, Coby, I'm just curious. When you came in as that freshman, you were replacing a guy that I think we all know, and he's sitting right here next to us, in Joel. When you were coming through high school, obviously had committed here. I know you were probably watching his game. Is there anything that you saw that he did that you tried to incorporate when you got to the college level? Anything you admired?
I think for me it was the grit and toughness that he played with on night in, night out on a game basis. And Coach Williams always talked about how tough he was and how he was a little firecracker on the court. But for me, just watching him be that dog out there and lead them to so many wins. Obviously, he had national championship. So for me coming in, I just wanted I wanted to be half of what he was and leave my legacy and try to do my best to be remembered as half of what he was. So obviously he was always a really talented player, but the passion that he played with, the grit and toughness that he played with is something that I always admire.
That's high praise right there.
Well, I appreciate those words, man. The only thing that I'm lacking is the hair. I should have done better with mine because you came in after me and just blew me out of the water. So maybe I need to work on mine.
What about for you personally right now? Because I mentioned coming in, you're having a heck of a year for the Bulls and really emerging into your own. What's been different for you this year?
I think that, everybody's path is different. I think the game's starting to slow down for me personally. The organization believes in me, and they present me with an opportunity, and I wanted to just, these opportunities don't always come in this league, and I wanted to take fully advantage of it. But like I said, the work always gonna show. But this year it's been amazing for me, and I just think the game's starting to slow down. I'm just starting to get better and better each and every year, and this year it's just been a good year. So I give all the glory to God. Without Him, none of this would be possible.
Well said. Well, listen, stay healthy. We appreciate the time. I know your schedule's crazy, and as you well know, it'll be a wide open scene here tomorrow night in Chapel Hill with Carolina and Duke. And again, we wish you the very best, Coby. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.